Life in the sunshine ain't always easy. It's episode 14 of In Real Life. Now you may be thinking, Genevieve, cry me a river. But I have to say, when I went to bed on Thanksgiving night, I was a little sad. Now don't get me wrong, we had a nice celebration here. It was just our little family and we went to the beach and it was a beautiful day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky and we had a meal together, we went out and it was fine. But it was just strange. And I had made the decision that I wasn't going to cook up a big turkey and mashed potatoes and this and gravy and la la for just me and Michael, basically, because the kids eat about, a quarter of a person, basically. And so we started looking at different restaurants. And the thing that's really cool is there was literally probably 12 restaurants that we could choose from. And they had these amazing Thanksgiving menus. So I was like, okay, we'll just go out and have a really nice dinner and it'll feel special. I literally went through that list one by one and every single one of those restaurants was booked. It was so crazy. I'm like, what is going on? And it must be because where we live is more of a vacation or kind of like a destination for people. And I guess people here go out a lot. And but back in Chicago, the restaurants are vacant. Most restaurants are closed. And my upbringing was my mom is a huge homemaker. She loves to host people and make meals, and she's a really good cook, and she will set a table like nobody's business. So we'd have like a 3-course meal and just this amazing Thanksgiving experience, and it was really centered around this gorgeous meal. So we ended up at a seafood place. I had scallops, the kids had shrimp, and I'm just like, this is so strange. Then the next day, speaking of strange, there was a huge parade for Christmas. It kind of was the kickoff. And they had music and candy was being thrown everywhere, and kind of culminated with Santa and Mrs. Claus coming down in a carriage with little horsies, and then they lit up a tree, and then you could go and sit on Santa's lap. Griffin loved it. Paloma, not so much. I think she'll do better next year. But all of this was happening, and I'm literally wearing shorts, flip-flops, t-shirt, I'm sweating, and I'm like, this is so crazy. In Chicago by now, it's probably snowed twice. So that was just all strange. But there was one silver lining. On Black Friday, I woke up and I think I was still kind of just feeling a little sad about not feeling connected, to a bigger community or to family. So I said, I'm actually going to pop out and I'm just going to go to one store because I want to replace that frying pan. If you remember from many, many IRLs ago, but when we moved here, we lost one of our Le Creuset frying pans and it was so beloved. And so I knew Le Creuset was having this sale. So I just ducked out, went to the store. It was so easy. I got parking like that. I walk in there, there's only a few customers. I got a frying pan for 40% off. And I have to tell you, that was one of my favorite moments of the whole holiday weekend, just because it felt celebratory and it felt like I was connected to something bigger than myself. And I know it's ridiculous because it's kind of like I was connected to this consumerism, which obviously isn't always a good thing. But I was just talking to the women. I was asking about how their Thanksgivings were. We were talking about the weather and just this area and how it's so unique. And I felt like I was part of something bigger. So the moral of the story is Christmas, we've already booked our flights to Chicago. We're going home so that I can connect with family and friends.
Yummy.
It's been a long time since we've had a nom section, so here are some of the meals we've been enjoying. Here we have a slow-cooked beef stew. This is rice pad thai, absolutely delicious. Here's a buffalo burger with raw cheese, probiotic pickles, sweet potato fries, and a yummy salad. This is a vegetarian dish with shaved Parmesan, truffle oil, and walnuts. This is a chicken basil risotto and a beef basil curry. Did any of that food look tasty to you? Well, if so, check out Real Plans. I have a link to that in the video description below. This is a meal planning service that we've been using now for a while, and it has seriously transformed our lives. I'm cooking less, spending less money, and getting more nutritious food in my family's bodies. I absolutely love it, and they've got all sorts of special diets if you've got different allergens. So be sure to check them out. I'll have a link in the video description below. It's the holiday season. If you're anything like me, you hate to shop. In fact, I don't really like to go into the stores. Although down here it's not so bad because it's a smaller town, so they're not as crowded, but I really prefer to do my shopping online. So if you're like me and you need some inspiration, and you like to do online shopping, be sure to check out my 2015 all natural holiday gift guide. So I've got gift ideas for her, for real foodies, for children, for babies, and most especially for men. Because if you're anything like me, when I ask Papa Natural what he wants for Christmas, he looks at me like a deer in headlights. It is brutal. So I actually had him put together this guide, thank you very much, and he did an awesome job, and I will be using it myself to purchase a few things for him. So be sure to check it out. I'll have a link in the video description below.
Who's that? Good one. Who's that? Yo. Yeah. Who's that? That's Darth Vader. Who's that? It's Darth Vader. Who's that? Who's Skywalker? Who's Skywalker?
How about you? How was your Thanksgiving? Was it tasty? Was it toasty? Were you with friends and family? Were you connected? Please share with me in the comments below so I can live vicariously through you. Thanks so much as always for tuning in.